him all over Richmond, spending a lot of time with children, teens, those incarcerated. He spends a lot of time in the community. Through his various efforts, White's mission is simple: to use comedy and entertainment to find a common ground by bridging racial, religious, socioeconomic, and generational gaps. I have the pleasure of introducing to you our speaker, Mr. Micah Bam-Bamm White.
May we pray. Dear gracious Father, I come to you right now thanking you for the many blessings that you bestowed upon me. At this moment, you have chosen to use me as a vessel for the minds and the ears and the hearts of those that are in front of me. Allow me to be less of myself and to become more of you, so that the words that come out of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is so grateful to you and is inspiring to those that are listening. These and many other blessings I ask in your son Jesus' name. I pray, let it be thy will. Amen. Amen. All right, how y'all doing? All right, we got that out of the way. Well, as you heard, I am Micah, or some people know me as Bam, or Micah Bam-Bamm White. And I just want to first start off by saying congratulations to the class of 2017. Give yourselves a round of applause. You did it! And congratulations to the parents. I know y'all like, ooh, thank you, Jesus, they done made it. So congratulations to y'all as well, because them sitting here is definitely a reflection of that which you have instilled inside of them. And congratulations also to the community, because of course we all know that none of this was done with one person alone. It takes an entire community to make good things happen amongst kids, especially in today's time with all that's going on. So shouts out to y'all. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my life, and I hope that something that I say can resonate with you to make you desire to become more of what you really want to be. This is a time where your parents and your friends and your counselors and your principal, your teacher's gonna tell you, you need to start worrying about thinking about your future. And one of the main things that's gonna come up is college, right? I'm sure you've heard it a lot. And what do you wanna be? What do you wanna be? What do you want to be? And I hear when we are asked that question, I remember when I was a kid, and people would ask me what I wanted to be, they would say what I wanted to be, but then they would give me choices. So if what I wanted to be wasn't one of the choices, then I needed to choose something else other than what was inside of my heart. But I'm here to tell you, there's something inside of your heart that you really, really, really want to be. God put it there. So don't let nobody tell you what you can't be. If it's something inside of you that you really, really, really want to do, and you really have this desire, and it ain't gonna hurt nobody or yourself, and you can do it forever, try your hand at it. As a comedian, I've been doing comedy for 21 years now, and I heard Robin up here talking about the accomplishments that I had throughout my career. I was taken aback. Because sometimes you don't really know how much you've done until you stop, turn around, and look at that what you've done. And when you look at what you've done, don't start to get self-induced with it. Understand that's God's grace. Because I done tried a lot to mess up my comedy career. Oh, I done tried a whole lot. But God has put something inside of me. But I think because I've been obedient and doing what God has put inside of me, he's given me grace to keep me going, even when I've done things I know I shouldn't have done. Even when I failed. Even when I came in front of obstacles, for some reason I keep going. Because when I choose what I want to be, I also choose my struggles. And a lot of people forget that. When you choose what you want to be, you just chose your struggles too. Because nothing comes easily. And I think a lot of times, we see things, I want to be this, I want to be that, then we start going down the journey of it, and then we start to run into pitfalls, and then we stop. Because we forgot that in order to get something that's worth having, we got to go through something. So be sure that you choose your struggles when you also choose your goals. Understand what you're up against and understand the process that it's going to take to get there. Share a little bit about my story. I was raised by 9 women. None of those women was my mother. My mother was a drug addict. My mother never was around. My father was in the military, so he never was around. My grandmother adopted me at the age of 1. At 2 weeks, I was taken in by a family who didn't even know my family. So from 2 weeks to 1 year old, I was with this obscured family who didn't even know me. 9 women, 3 different families, 2 black families, 1 white family. That's the story of my childhood. Raised in a low-income neighborhood, my grandfather was Tuskegee Airman. He died in the war. So my grandmother was living off the little money that the military gave her, and she raised me off of that. So we didn't have much. But what I did have, and I never told anybody I was poor, because I was not poor, because I was loved. Do not manage or try to put poor and rich in with money. You're going to make a fool of yourself. Don't put that there. Poor and rich is something that is inside of you. It is something that you're born with. It's innate. A lot of us are poor not because we're not loved, because this world that we live in has created a lot of distraction. Now, you as young people, and even some of the adults, I'm talking to y'all too, we watch some of these TV shows, listen to some of this music, and we try to make an excuse or justification. Well, I know how to put it in perspective. Let me tell you something. Every word you hear, everything that you experience goes into your subconscious. Your subconscious controls 90% of your actions. So don't never think that you can outdo something. What we got here? The Real House Lies of Atlanta. But that's what it is. It ain't nothing but a bunch of lies. They call it reality TV, but I'm here to tell you, it ain't reality. It is something they made up, but the problem that comes with that is you make it your reality. And when you make it your reality, now you're confused. When I moved to LA, I just moved back to Richmond from LA, and it was real interesting how I got back to Richmond. I came back to Richmond, I was supposed to be here for 3 days. I was moving to New York. 3 days has now been 4 years. I don't know why the Lord got me here. But I do know this. When God got something for you to do, you better stop and be still. And allow him to work through you, because what he got for you is going to be much greater than what you think you got for yourself. So chill out. Lay back. Fall back. You know, we got other hip-hop artists that we listen to, and there's some of them I ain't really like. I like too. You know, Nicki Minaj. I like her. Yeah, I said Nicki Minaj, because ain't nothing on the real. And understand that, but at the same time, these other people that I like, I make sure that the words that I listen to, I am very impeccable with the decisions I make of those words. Every morning I got a playlist that I listen to every morning. And it's called my Wake Up in the Morning playlist. And it's 5 songs. Song number 1 is We Are One by Frankie Beverly and Meggs. Now the reason I have that as one of my songs is not because I just like the song, because I have to make sure that I remind myself that every action I take today affects you. Everything that I do, I understand that it also hurts or helps you, even if you're not around me. So We Are One allows me to understand that we are one under God. Here we're different entities of this one being, but we are one. Second song is Lovely Day by Bill Withers. And I listen to Lovely Day because Lovely Day lets me know what day I'm gonna have. I may have went through something yesterday. I may have even gone to sleep with an argument. When I wake up this morning, I'm gonna choose to have a lovely day. Third song is Thank You by Frankie Beverly and Meggs. Because I have to thank God that if I'm up thinking about the process of my day, I obviously have been blessed to get another shot at making life better for myself and for others. So Lovely Day is third. And I'll keep on going, but you get the point that I'm making. When I wake up in the morning, I make sure the first words I hear are gonna be words that's gonna fuel me. It's gonna drive me through the day. I encourage you to do the same. Then I have my affirmations I give myself. Number 1 affirmation, I say it over and over again. If God be for me, who can be against me? If God be for me, who can be against me? If God be for me, who can be against me? And I say it over and over and over again until I feel it. Until I know that if God be for me, who can be against me? Then the next thing I say over and over again is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The operative word in that statement is I can do all. He didn't give me a limit. He didn't say you can do everything, but he said I can do all things through Christ. And I say that over and over and over again. Because I know that if I can do all things through Christ, and if God be for me, who can be against me, then nothing can stop me. And I also have to realize the biggest part of that, if nobody can stop me, I can't stop nobody. Which means I ain't worried about what you're doing. We spend so much time worried about what everybody else is doing. None of us know how much time we got on this earth, do we? The moment we was born, the clock started counting down, not up. And the thing is, we don't know how much time is on the clock. So I don't have time worried about what you doing or what this other person's doing. I ain't got that much time. I put it this way. If I'm building a house and my neighbor building a house, and every 5 minutes I stop building my house and go over there and watch them build their house, you know what? I'm wasting time building my own doggone house. And it's a good chance they're gonna finish their house before I finish mine, if I ever finish mine at all. So I gotta be focused on my house. Now, if you need some nails, I'll bring you to help you build your house. But I'm focused on my house. Have power over your life got this thing called haters. I love haters. Because if people ain't hating on me, that means they ain't doing nothing. If people ain't talking bad about me, that means that obviously I'm obsolete. So bring on the haters. And another thing I love about the haters, if you ever worried about who paying attention to the things that you need to get better at, it's the haters. Let them tell you what you need to get better at. Don't be mad at them. Don't be angry at them. Because that is a person that is choosing to watch you build your house. Let them watch you. And what's going to happen is once you get your house built, they're going to realize they couldn't stop you. But now if you turn around and pay attention to them, then they can stop you. It's just a big distraction. And you got to forgive. Forgive me. There's a passage in the Bible. Grandma and I was like, I said, Grandma, I said, we'll put on the spot. I said, do you know what passage the fig tree is? She was like, we can Google it real quick. We'll find out. But in the passage about the fig tree, and it's something that's very significant in this passage, I think sometimes we overlook. Y'all know the story of the fig tree? So Jesus was walking with the disciples. Now, anytime you see in the Bible, Jesus was walking with the 12, and the Bible said the disciples were the 12, you know that this is a teaching moment. So pay very close attention when Jesus is walking with the disciples, because he's going to tell you something, he's going to teach you something. So he cursed the fig tree, and then after he cursed the fig tree, because the fig tree didn't have any fruit on it. Now the fig had leaves, the tree had leaves, but what I think about a fig tree is the leaves supposed to come after the fruit. So Jesus went to the fig tree because he saw the leaves, but the fig tree didn't have no fruit, so he cursed it. Went and taught the temple, if y'all know that story, came back. On the way back, Peter looked at the fig tree, and I'm paraphrasing, and says, Jesus, look at the fig tree. It's dead. Jesus turned to Peter, and this is what he said. Jesus answered him and said, truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only will you do what has been done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, be lifted up and thrown into the sea, it will be done. The biggest point I get from that is Jesus said, stop looking at what I can do. Start recognizing what you can do. The same God that is in me is the God that is in you. Jesus told us that over and over again. So stop thinking that you can't do certain things. You can do whatever you desire to do, especially if it's going to help people. Now, can you be evil and do things? Yeah, you can. But life ain't going to sustain it. You might accomplish a lot of things while you're here being evil. Yeah, and it might happen for you, but life ain't going to hold on to it. The only thing that life holds on to are the things that are rooted in love. So you might as well do what's right. You might as well function in love. You might as well. The payoff is much greater. Trust me, I done been on both sides. I'm going to stay on the side of love. When I think about the works of life, and I think about the what, and in closing, the biggest thing I want to think about is who. You all may have an idea of what you want to be. The most important thing is who do you want to be? Because who substantiates what? Who creates the foundation for what? I could be the greatest comedian of all time, and I feel like I am, but I could be the greatest comedian of all time. But if I'm a bad person, the greatness that I have is worth nothing. So it's not what I want to be, it's who I want to be. The best thing I can do for myself, though, is do for you. And I realized that when I was getting all these auditions and I was getting told no, I've been told no a lot. And I got told no, I kept trying to become more self-induced. I kept trying to hate on other people that was getting good things. The moment I stopped and started congratulating people for the great things that would happen in their lives, it was amazing that great things started happening in my life. The moment I stopped worrying about what other people was doing or what they may have been saying about me, the more I was empowered with the gift that God gave me. The more I started thinking about how much can I help you, the more God started helping me. I don't give to people so that they can give back to me. I give to people because I have it to give. And it's not always monetary. Sometimes it can be just a smile. You see somebody walking with a frowning face and you say hello to them, they may or may not say hello back. But if I see another person with a frowning face and the last person that speak back, I'm still going to speak to the next person. Don't let past experiences dictate what you do next when you know what you did then is good and you still keep doing it. Don't let past hurts make you not want to love in the future. Don't let people take away from you that which is yours, which means that you are giving people power over your life. I'll give you an example. How many people have ever held a grudge against somebody? Raise your hand. Be real with yourself. Do you know how much power you have given to someone else when you hold a grudge? over somebody else? You could be at a party, man, having a good time. You got this grudge against somebody, you having the time of your life. I don't know how y'all dance. I don't know how y'all dance now, but whatever. But you having a good time, in walks somebody you don't like. They ain't even gotta say nothing to you. You be like, girl, is that Kiki? And as soon as you see Kiki, your whole moment done changed. You just was having the time of your life. Now all of a sudden you don't even want to be where you at because somebody else showed up. Look at how much power you have given that person over your life. Don't let nobody have that level of power over you. And forgive them for being who they are. Forgive them. Forgiveness is one of the greatest attributes you can have as a repetition of your ways of living. Forgive. Because you got to forgive in order to be able to give. Because when you don't forgive and you hold grudges, you start to hold yourself to yourself. You stop becoming giving of yourself. That's why I break it down the word for. That means that's a pretext. Which means I got to do this in order to be open to give. Forgive. Forgive. When somebody that hurts you, forget it. Tell you a story. I was driving. I coached high school volleyball at James River High School. And I was driving leaving school one day. And if anybody know the community of James River, you know, nice community, very nice community. And I'm driving down the street one day, and this dude, he said I cut him off. I cut him off. If I'm honest with myself, I cut him off. Because he wouldn't let me on. But when we got up to where, I don't know if you're familiar with the area, we got up to 288, we were able to get next to each other again. This gentleman pulls up on the side of my car, white gentleman, and started to commence to calling me the N-word over and over again. Over and over again. Now, I had a choice at that moment. I could do what my uncle and them told me to do. And what my uncle and them told me might not have been the best thing in that situation. But what I did in that moment was I laughed out loud in this gentleman's face. And the reason I laughed for two reasons. Number one reason, I had to let him know that the words he said had no power over my life. The second reason I laughed was because he was getting on 288. I was going straight. And I be doggone, this man gonna have a moment that he creates first thing in the morning. So when he leaves me, now I'm in pain for the rest of the day. That ain't gonna be my day. So I gotta laugh to let him go on by this bed. I'm gonna say how God works though. So I owned a process server at the company at the time. I go to my first serve of the day. I pull up at the job, and guess who was standing there? And I'm like, how is this gonna work? So I walk in the job, I do my business, I walk out, and I was wondering because I had a garnishment to serve, and I wondered if it was for him. I looked at it, it was a female name, so I was like, no, it's not for him. So I did the business. I walk out, and as I'm walking out, a gentleman goes, and it was him. He goes, excuse me, sir, excuse me. Can I talk to you for a minute? And I turned around, and I was like, yeah, you can talk now. Don't get me wrong. I was like, yeah, we can talk. Like, what's up? You know? So he came with me. He said, I want to apologize. He said, were you the gentleman I spoke with this morning? I said, yeah, I'm the gentleman you talked to this morning. He said, I want to apologize to you for what I said to you this morning. He said, I've been having a horrible day. My wife and I are getting a divorce, and I just got notice today that I got to move out of my house. So the reason I didn't want to let you over, the reason I didn't want to do these things is because I'm going through a lot of pain. And when I said what I said to you, I thought it was going to hurt you and make me feel better. But when you laughed in my face, I had nothing to do but look at myself. Because had I done something back to him, I would have justified his words to him. But because I laughed, it opened up a higher conscience to make him reflect on himself. If you want to know what Dr. King was all about, that's what Dr. King was all about. It wasn't about don't do nothing about the problem, but don't fight the people that got the problem. Because the people that got the problem have a higher conscience inside of them, and if you keep beating them up back because they done done something to you, it'll never wake up. Stand up for what's right, but don't beat people down because of it. Racism ain't been created by nobody that's here today. So any white person that's racist has been affected by a disease. So I still love you as a man, though I despise that which you have been affected by. I refuse. See, ain't nobody bad enough, or ain't nobody good enough, or ain't nobody worth me not loving them. To not love somebody is to create damnation on my own life. Why would I do that just because I see something bad in you? Let people be who they are too. Sometimes people ain't that bad, but because when they ain't the way we want them to be, we upset with them. And that happens a lot in relationships. You're going to get into relationships in your life. Some of y'all going to get married. Yeah, good luck with that, okay? I hope it work out for you. But if I want to leave you, and I've got one more thing after this, but I want to say on that point, I want to leave you with a quote or give you a quote that I live by, that I think is very important when you think about relationships. Not even just relationships when it comes to companionship, but even friendships. The quote is, if you love a flower, don't pick it up. Because if you pick it up, it dies and it ceases to be what you love. So if you love a flower, let it be. Love is about appreciation. It's not about possession. Love is about letting people be exactly who they are. If somebody show you that they're a fool, let them be a fool. I tell people all the time, I treat you the way that I want to. I deal with you the way you allow me to. The way I treat you is not up to you, it's up to me. Now the way I deal with you, that's up to you. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna treat you, if I know you're a robber, you done broke into every house, I'm gonna still treat you nice. But am I gonna let you in my house? No. You can't come in here. The devil is a lie. I'll give you water on the porch. Yes, I will give you water on the porch. And really in closing this time, do works. Work for those that are less fortunate. Do work for those that can't do work for themselves. A lot of us in here, most of us are Christians. We claim to be. I had a lady the other day I was talking with, and I said, ma'am, what do you do that is of Christ? She said, well, I go to church. I want to challenge you there. Because going to church on Sunday ain't serving God, it's worshiping God. Serving God is very plainly put in Romans 13. Romans 13, verse 13 says, therefore, Jesus also suffered outside the city gate in order to sanctify the people by his own blood. Let us then go out to him outside the camp and bear the abuse he endured. Your work is outside the camp. Your work is outside of this little space we got right here. Now, this is an anointed space, don't get me wrong. This is needed because this is my foundation as it is in God. But I got to do my works for Christ. That's going to be outside. Make sure you're working outside the gate. Make sure that the works and the things that you do are helping people while you are here. That way, when you're dead and gone in body, your spirit continues to live and give. That's what John 3:16 is about. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. That word in, that's the way you function. It didn't say that if whoever believes him, who believes in him, that's the way you live. Live a life that is absolutely incredible. And I'll leave you with a joke. Let me see, which one should I do? I'm gonna let you pick, young man. Should I do party or should I do work? Work? You would pick work, man. You better lay out that work. You're about to do a lot of it in just a little while. Just wait, young man. You hate you said that in about 2 years. Yes, you will. All right, here we go. Work. All right. Black man, white man, Chinese man. We're going to give the three men, black man, Puerto Rican man, Chinese, well, black man, white man, Puerto Rican man. We'll just say that just so we can differentiate between the three guys. They all sitting at work one day, and they're sitting at lunch. And as they're sitting there, the white gentleman opens up his lunchbox. He says, listen to the lunchbox, he had a salami sandwich. He said, man, if my wife put another salami sandwich in my lunchbox, I just might kill myself. It was that serious. The Latino brother opened up his lunchbox. He said, man, if my wife put another ham sandwich in my lunchbox, I just might kill myself. It was that serious. So the black brother opened his lunchbox. In his lunchbox, he had a turkey sandwich. He said, man, if I get another turkey sandwich in my lunchbox, I'm going to kill myself. Fast forward, 2 weeks later, we're at the firm. They're at the firm the same day, same time, same church. So the white gentleman's wife walked in. She was hurt, destroyed. She said, oh my God, Larry, I didn't know you didn't like salami. Did you say something? Use your words. Oh my God. The Latino wife, she walked in, hurt, destroyed. She walked in, oh, man, the puppy. Oh, puppy, I didn't know you didn't like him. Say something. The black wife walked in, she wasn't even crying. She just walked up in the church, and everybody was looking at her like, ain't she hurt? She got up to the casket, she said, this fool make his own lunch. God bless y'all. Class of 2017, go and be great.